If I was going to have a supply of rockets that would allow me to explore further distances away from the house, I was going to need to build a gunpowder farm. Since the gunpowder farm was needed for crafting the rockets, I began getting all of the items by gathering the materials that I already had in storage, which included the white stained glass panes. I would also need different oxidized copper items for the build, and so I left the blocks of copper out in front of the house so that they could oxidize while I was collecting the other items for the gunpowder farm. I was also going to need a lot of bamboo for crafting the bamboo related items, and so I planted some of the bamboo that I had in storage. And since I planted it now, it would be able to grow while the other items were being collected. I still needed to collect more copper, and so I went and searched in the cave that was under my house. Fortunately, the cave still had some copper that I didn't already gather, and once I was done in the cave, I chose to look around the area on the surface for any deposits of copper ore that I could find. This included going as far as the village that had the farmers I would trade with to repair my tools. Using the extra copper that I collected, I was able to craft more blocks of copper and leave them out with the rest of the blocks of copper to oxidize. As a part of the design for the building that would house the farm, I needed stripped oak logs, and so I used some of the oak logs I had previously gathered. The next group of items that I wanted to collect for building the farm were the mud brick related items. I travelled down to a shallow part of the river that was past the stables to transform the dirt into mud, and from this mud, using wheat, I was able to craft the mud brick related items. By placing the dirt in the river, I was able to easily fill the glass bottles with water and thus make all of the mud that was required for crafting the items. Once all of the dirt was turned into mud, I gathered all of the mud. The design for the build that the farm would be placed in also required terracotta and glazed terracotta as a part of the design. So I went down to the lush cave that was in the cave under the house and collected the clay that could be found in the lush cave. Using the saplings that I gathered from the acacia trees across the river, I was able to grow more acacia trees and gather the acacia related items that formed part of the building. From harvesting all of the wheat at the farm, a large supply of seeds began to build up. And so, using some hoppers and chests with the composter, I was able to automate the process of converting the seeds into bone meal. This additional bone meal was used over at the flower forest so that I could collect orange tulips and craft orange dye. The orange dye was required for crafting the orange terracotta and the glazed orange terracotta.